Good evening, beautiful woman. Welcome to Isaya's Inspiring Evenings, a podcast full of goddess series, witches' secrets, colors of women, and fairy seasons to integrate serenity, abundance, joy, and magic into your life. I am Isaya Bell, creatrix, magical pragmatic inspiration mentor, tech goddess teacher, and traveling priestess. And this podcast aims to accompany you for peaceful and inspiring evenings. Isaya's Inspiring Evenings has had various iterations and styles and is published irregularly. Subscribe to the podcast on the platform of your choice to be informed of the publication of each new episode. If you like this podcast, please support it by leaving stars, blue thumbs, and reviews on whatever platform you listen to me. In 2024, there are going to be 5 series in it, for now. All different, all aiming to inspire the audience, all telling stories, each complementing each other. One series titled Women Lighting the Way is about women's stories, centering around the past or future speakers from the various Women Lighting the Way summits, adding to the virtual library of women's stories and providing a much-needed counterpoint to the many men's stories going around in our world of patriarchy. This is one of those episodes, and I'm happy to invite you to listen to the story of Gisela Backe, recorded in 2022, entitled My Hero's Journey with Silver and Fire. Enjoy!
Welcome to my office. Welcome to my creative studio. I'm Gisela. I'm a life coach and jewellery designer from Germany. I recorded as 51 years old and single mom of a wonderful daughter. And today I want to take you on a creative journey, and along those lines tell you about bits and pieces of my hero's journey of, the start and the trials and the triumphs and the failures and the successes, and give you some insights which I gained along those lines. And maybe some of them resonate with you when you get some prompts for yourself. Maybe they, some insights yourself. And I hope that you can lean back and enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey. And as a bit of a disclaimer, I haven't I know my story, but I did not train the talk. And sometimes I will pause, sometimes I will search for words because they're English and the language thing. So I hope in the beginning I would just want to say that because I know it will happen. I hope you forgive me and see what happens along the lines as I tell my story as it occurs to me right now. All right. And so I want to start that with, I think it started, that part of my story started 12 years ago, roughly. And maybe you know that feeling where it's like this gray flame. It doesn't look like much of value, and you know that it's valuable because it's pure silver. But from the outside, it doesn't look like it has any worth. And that was how I felt in the beginning. the package was awesome. Yeah, I had a wonderful job on the outside. It was really, really well paid. I had really nice colleagues and coworkers. I it was safe. And for me as a single mom already then, it was good. The package was really good. And I loved to work there. And with the financial crisis in 2008, it started to change. So we had various reorgs, we had changes in projects and changes in the direction where the company moved and everything. So it was really okay. One day that's one day, one day it's A, the other day B, and working for months, years in that environment really drained me because the work in my eyes and what I got from it didn't have any value. Because when you do, project A and you invest everything in it and it's not used because project B is then more important because maybe you get a new boss and he wants or she wants something else. So that was the situation. I was exhausted, miserable. I was mentally, emotionally drained. And it was hard because I wanted to be a role model, still am wanting, but even then I wanted to be a role model for my kid. And driving to work crying, coming home from work crying, it's not a good situation. And it's this clash, when you have so much more to give, and it's just not getting anywhere. And so I tried different paths inside of the company, and I think it was even then that I read The Secret for the first time. You know that book. Um, so that also gave me some, okay, there has to be more, right? And it was one of the things that gave some more urgency to that fight inside. And I asked my boss for part-time so that I could build something on the side. And he gave me that question whether I didn't want to work more anymore or when I couldn't anymore. So I heard that he would question my ability, my commitment, my, power and strength. And I was furious because, who is he to question me? But he was right. He was right. I did not want to work there anymore. Of course, I did have power and, everything well inside of me, but not for that company anymore. So I quit the job. And it was a hard time because I did not know what to do. It was like, okay, yay, I have this valuable thing. I know that there's something inside of me, and just don't know what to do with it. And so I did some soul searching. Well, physical health recovery, mental health recovery, everything in there. And it took really some time. And I did, like when okay, I have here something I want to create something. What could it be? What should I do? Maybe a flower, maybe a heart, maybe, a star. And then okay, doesn't need to have 6 points or 5 points or 4 point star, or what do I want? How does it need to look? so that it's it's mine, it's me, it's connected with me. So I had this intense time of, you know, design or laying out the design and, okay, what do I want? And very, very helpful in that time was, I'm sorry, my nose is like itching. Probably I'm nervous, but um, so the time, if you take it as a metaphor on various levels, it was like on the hero's journey. The beginning, it was the ordinary world. Maybe you are familiar with the hero's journey, and then you get the call, right? And then you have this refusal of the call, and you just don't know why, and it's dangerous, and then you go, right? And in that time, for me, it was really, really important to get the help of mentors, of coaches. It was perfect. Like, it was so, so, so valuable also. And to see, okay, if I want to have an impact, leave a legacy, all those things you probably know, then I don't have to invent everything new, right? I could see, okay, where can I build it on? Which frames do I have? What is available to me? Like my resources inside emotionally and also on the outside. My trainings, my also from the state. I had wonderful, wonderful people from the employment office helping me. I had all sorts of mentors, my family, my friends. So they were really important in that time. And I think there are two sides of it. One is to find out for yourself what you want, and also if you know the direction, ask for help. Like if you know, yeah, the star, the North Star, the direction, which I figured out, then ask for help. And that was one of the most important things I did was, okay, what do I have? And where do I want to go? And as for today, as an example, let's go with the example of a star, right? Let's go. Let's take this as a metaphor. And so I had the framework, which is Germany, Mannheim. I had the framework of my wishes of, okay, I really want to have something, build something where people can show their, you know, what they can do, like their craft. I want a place where people can meet and talk about the important stuff of life. I want it close to my home because my kid was then at school, so that she could come to me after school. So there was those parameters, right? So it's like when you design piece of jewelry, you also have those parameters. You have inside the value, the material, and on the outside, okay, what do you work with? And I think, like, in comparison here is, if I tell you that is pure silver and that it's gonna be something very, that it is gonna be a silver pendant of pure silver, well, you probably believe the pendant, but not the silver. And that is something, the belief in yourself, the belief in your own worth, it has to be there. And it has to be strong enough to, that it can sustain that period of explaining it to other people. From that, like, the the trust in yourself is one thing, and the sustaining that deep belief in yourself, but also I think the belief in the divine intervention, as you would call it in the hero's journey framework. And to me, it was really it was that material. It was that silver clay that I found that it was like that divine intervention. When I found that, it was like the answer to my prayers. Okay, I can work with that. There's value. It's easy. I learned, I did some trainings and everything. And so from that, having that, the idea of the concept store really emerged. And, I took some different tools, like you see that the dentist tools. It's a really cool metaphor to use things, to use ideas, to use knowledge outside of the box, outside of the things you already know to use, and to really learn new stuff. And I learned a lot. I learned to how to barista the things. And what I also, when I have that now, because it's still moist, and it reminds me that in order for the next step, you have to take breaks, you have to have pauses, you have to have those times where you go inside again, where you get quiet, where you settle down, so new insights can come. All right. And very deliberately take them. I didn't. I forgot that. And I think, I really wanted so much to build that the most amazing place on earth. And I overlooked some signs, warning, warning, warning. But I think it's part of the process, and those things are, the urgency is also, it's part of insecure thinking. So with that, and I was so on the way. I had so I took all the courses. I found a beautiful location in the area, and I built a shop where, I had the workspace to give courses. I had the cafe area where people could have delicious coffee and cappuccino. And I had the space where artists could show their work, and it was jewelry. It was beautiful bowls from glass. It was lamps. It was all different, really beautiful, unique things. And working on that, I like with the jewelry, you work on refining it, and you do all the things, and it was wonderful. And then things happen. It's just I overlooked the money. I there were several things that were the thing with the shop went wrong. So it was breaking apart. And it was even that long that it was after the opening, there were several things that I rushed. Um, there were not the funding wasn't sustainable, and also the road was broken open due to construction in front of the shop, so there was no no um no clients walking by. There was no cars could go by. The tram couldn't go there anymore, so there were no customers. And it was a combination of things that really led to the failure, the feeling of, okay, I'm defeated right now. I cannot go on. It was, I mean, now you probably see that I really can't talk about this without tears anymore. But at that time, it was terrible. I felt like such a failure. And also, you know, the importance of being the role model, the importance of my parents, their faith in me, and being the loser. So all the things going on there. Um, and with the jewelry, it can happen. It just can happen that you are in your head with other thoughts, and you're not aware, you're not paying attention, and then things break. The thing is that, like with that metaphor, or also with where you with that metaphor, and also on the hero's journey, where think you think everything goes wrong and against you, you have the choice. You have choices. You have the choice to give up. And I was thinking about that, going back, giving up to me looked like going back corporate. Um, Giving up here, it would seem okay, just leave it, throw it away. Um, or here, I can actually repair it, use the value in a different form, and, you know, repair it in a so the original form can be worked on then to be continued, or it could be that, oh right, okay, that looks cool, maybe I create something different from its foundation. So it's that, okay, I can choose a different direction, I can choose an adjusted direction, but I still have the choice. And even though it really felt like failing, it also felt like a relief then, because I had created a gilded cage. I had created a wonderful shop where I had to be there full time with no freedom. I did not have enough money to pay someone to, work some hours for me. So it was like, yay. Oh, shoot. Now I'm stuck here. And all that I wanted to create was a space for people to show their craft, their talents, to experience them. And while that went wrong, but during those times where I had the workshops, I also experienced that I had something amazing with that material, with my way of teaching, that something changed in people. So when they came in to the workshop, I was like, oh, I'm not creative. I cannot do that. I don't know. I really don't know. And then after, going all the steps and creating their jewelry, which was always individual, always on point, them, they was like, oh, really? Do you see? I made that. And, like from really gray to silver and to shiny and to really proud. And I noticed that over and over and over and over again. And I was like, okay, here is something of value. I have to go in that more in depth in that direction and see really what's there. And that it started when I combined the coaching with the jewelry. So when I used the process of designing the jewelry as, a way that people could observe themselves, become aware of their own patterns, of their, action patterns, creation patterns, but mostly the thinking patterns, the conditioning. And that is a really, really, really important step all the way on the journey, is getting rid of the conditioning. Really, I was like, yeah, but I'm like, the conditioning of you have to show a certain way of success. Otherwise, people won't experience you as success. And different thinking patterns. And really the letting go and trusting even more the own energy. All right. So that's a really wonderful step in the process of creating the jewelry, and a really important step on the journey is to burn up what is not longer of use. Right? And you see the flame. And now what's happening actually on the material side is that the organic binder just burned off. You saw the flame, and the silver particles are sintering together, the sintering process. So with the heat, they are melting together, and I have to, really be careful when you see the glow. You see the glow. I have to be careful that I'm not, too far away. Otherwise, there's not enough heat. And also that I'm not, too close. Otherwise, it would melt, because I need to have a certain temperature for the silver to have a successful sintering process. And this is also, for me, as I experienced it, very, it's a major point on the journey, is much burnout. It's not even, the burnout on the way to enlightenment. It's a phrase I once heard. It's like, be careful. Be careful not to hurt yourself, to hurt others, but also really use the energy to get out what, to make the value even more visible. And now, not only that you believe in it, but that other people believe in it too. Right? So I just continue a little bit. All right. And now I'll take, that was what was gray before. Uh, sorry, that's live, right? Well, recorded live. And I have water here, and I just put the star. Right. And you see, it should be white. It should be silver, but it's partly white. And in the jewelry making process, when I use that in the coaching, I'm very happy when that happens. Because it um it comes with the feeling of disappointment. Well, you said it's silver. Yes, it is silver. It was silver all along. And this this little maybe you know that feeling of disappointment when you put everything into your project, everything into that you wanted to come into existence, and it's not showing the way you want it. Um, to me, that is on a metaphorical level really important to keep on going, to brush up the doubts, like really, to say to really, when you feel the value inside, when you know it, then take it a step further, brush off the doubts. And as you can see, it starts to show, to shine, to be polished, and then you can take it even more. And that is also a part which I think is often, brushed away as, yeah, but that sounds arrogant or anything. Something in those lines is willing to see that shiny already, that's polished, to also celebrate our successes, to really say, hey, I made that, hey, I landed, hey, I have something to show you, to show off, which is something I'm still learning. So in the end of the I have that silver pendant, and the end of my story would be that I closed the shop. I got back to the roots. I really took the time. Okay, what do I want? And I put the energy on my education again. I did some professional certification trainings for coaching. I refined the jewelry knowledge, and then I got the studio here, and now I'm focusing on the same thing, actually, to give people the space to show, to feel their value, and you know find find their treasure inside and get it out, wear it on the outside. But I don't need a shop anymore. It's a conversation, or it's a workshop. And to me, that is, like in the hero's journey would be the master of two worlds. It's really um the thing that I have found to be most valuable to understand, that there is no difference, even though it appears to be completely different. It is always the value inside. It's silver. It's pure silver. It's pure silver. But it's the journey is getting, it's not the better self, but it's understanding what you can do with the value inside of you, how you can use it, what you can use it for, to ask you what you want. And then, taking in that in a way that it's a matter of fact to you, but it's also a matter of fact or visible for others. But the visibility to others might not be the success. The success is for you. Yes. I've put a form to aid what's been there all along. So to conclude, my me sharing part of my journey is really also to say that there is not one journey. It's not only one pendant I create. There are several journeys. There are different journeys and different parts of my life and in your life too. And I wear, the star, and sometimes I wear different pendant rings or whatever. But they're all made of the same thing. They're all made of an incredible preciousness and perfection inside of us, which we can use. And when we burn off the crap, it's even more obvious. Okay. At the end, I thank you very much for your, being with me on that journey. And if you want to find out more about my work, it's www.giselabacke.com. I'll put it, you will find the link. And if you have any questions, I would be honored to answer them and to give you any more information you want to. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of the day whenever you watch that. Thank you. Bye.
That's it for this episode. The next one is still in creation. Thanks for listening, and don't forget, if you want to support this podcast, share, subscribe, and leave stars, blue thumbs, and a review on whichever platform you listen to. If you want to be accompanied in the change processes that life offers you, if you want to live a goddess life daily and participate in the awakening of feminine energy in the world, know the secrets of witches, and apply the rituals of fairies in your daily life, contact me on my website isayabelle.com. You can also subscribe to my newsletter to be informed of all the news in the real and virtual world of Isaya Belle. You will, of course, find this podcast on all platforms: Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, etc., but also on YouTube and on my website, isayabelle.com, on the podcast page.